Hey,
Oh, hey, good morning, everybody. How are we doing?
Good morning.
Belinda. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It's number 100. I had to come.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's good to see everybody today. We've got
Look at
special guests galore. We've Injae, welcome to the live stream. How the heck are you doing today, buddy?
Hey, folks, it's just 1 p.m. on Halloween, so pretty good, pretty good. Weather's okay in Poland. How's it for you guys?
Oh,
It's a
we
little
are
chilly
doing
here.
we're having the best day ever, honestly.
Really? What makes it the best day ever for you, Chris, on
Well,
weather today?
it's episode 100 of Fabric Fridays. We've done
100.
100. Can you believe it? We've done 100 of these.
No, I can't believe it. Doesn't seem
Doesn't seem possible,
that,
huh?
and
No.
not at all.
Oh, I'm so
Belinda,
excited.
we're glad you could show up.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding me that it was number 100.
Shh,
So I
don't
would
tell
show
Chris
up.
that I told you.
It was a little bird. It was a little bird.
Lit- There's a little bird in St. Louis last week that talked
Hmm.
with her about it. So
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
thought I'd surprise Chris.
Well, what a wonderful surprise. Great to see you here. It's good to have everybody here. Is everybody ready for Halloween?
Yes.
I got my Halloween costume on. It says it right here. Where'd it go? This side. This button says this is my Halloween costume.
I have a ghost on my sweatshirt, but
All right. Excellent. Injay, do they celebrate Halloween in Sweden?
So in Sweden, it's more of like a university slash kids thing, but it's just
Mhm.
not as prevalent. Right now, I'm in Poland, and Poland has like a separate celebration that they do
Okay.
tomorrow. It's like, you know how the Halloween is All Hallows Eve on the
Mhm.
1st of November. What
Mm-hmm.
Poland does is they go to graveyards to respect the dead. So it's like
Oh,
it's not like a fun holiday so much as it's like a go see your ancestors holiday.
well,
that's
Yeah.
that.
that's cool. That's exciting. I'll say we just moved into a new house. We're in a new community, and we were not prepared. It was last week, and like we completely were out and about running errands, and we missed the entire thing. So
They do their trick or treating a week early.
it's the Saturday before.
Oh,
So the idea is like, hey, it's Saturday night. Go have a good time. Kids are off. So
Hmm.
like they did it from like 4:30 to 6:30 on the Saturday before. So it was
That's interesting.
yeah. And Chewy's saying it was Dia de Muertos, right?
Day of the Dead.
Oh, Day of the Dead. Okay,
The Day of the Dead.
excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, it's now spooky. Look, we've
We
got
got spooky
But I
fonts.
but I think that's kind of what it all centers around, right? Because like in the Catholic Church, November 1st is All Saints Day, and then the second is All Souls Day, and so you're supposed to honor the saints on the first, the souls on the second. But then it's like all the souls that have not totally passed around is what the 31st is all about. So
and then the
uh
third
so
is
it's
my
kind of the
mom's
same thing
birthday.
with what you were saying from Poland.
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Exciting, exciting. I'm so excited to be here
It,
because what's that, Belinda? Okay.
I was just going to say November 1st in our house is Day of the Leftover Chocolate.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent, excellent. Well, it's great to see everyone here. It's great to have everyone together. Now, our topic today is user defined functions inside of Power BI. So we want to delve into and talk more about that. Frankly, this has been something that people have been talking about wanting to have for a very long time. Injay, can you explain to me what is a user defined function? Why would I care? When would I use it? What like maybe what? So what? why are people excited about this?
Well, can I also make a suggestion since NJ, it's your first time on the live stream? I bet you most people know who you are. You're pretty famous. You're a pretty big deal.
Oh, thanks,
So
Kevin.
maybe go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
All right. Let me start with that. Back in '92, I was born. No. Okay. So so hey guys.
Okay, let's move up a little
Okay.
bit further.
So my name's Injae Park. I'm a Microsoft MVP for Power BI, and essentially what I like to do is I like to do a whole bunch of front end stuff. But the niche that I it's like kind of see myself as is that I really like to use AI for all things Power BI, and that means making semantic models, trying to make SVGs and stuff. So user defined functions, when it was released, kind of like fell in my lap because I already had like a whole system of how to use C# scripts that it's like seeing Kurt Bueller, the Data Goblin, do, and I was using that methodology to create a lot of different custom visualizations inside of Power BI. And like when UDFs came out, I was like, this is amazing, and I can use this for all of my processes. It's going to make things so much easier. It's going to integrate really well into model context protocols, large language models. It's going to be great. And personal thing about me is that I am born Korean, but I am a Swedish citizen. But right now I live in Poland because, really couldn't get enough of that kielbasa.
Yeah.
Well, and you've got a
Nice.
great YouTube channel out there as well. I just posted the link out in the chat. Where else can people go to find your stuff, Injae? Where do you
Realistically, it's like find me on LinkedIn, find me on YouTube. I've got an online classroom that you can see. It's like linked in my LinkedIn. But realistically, come find me on YouTube. That's where I'll share most of my stuff.
Great.
Awesome. And links are coming in the chat, so please make sure you are following him as well. So, now you have done some amazing visuals in Power BI. I think you've really been the one to really be at the forefront of wowing me when it comes to creating some visuals out there. Can you tell us what is your secret to actually creating these visuals? I mean, because are you using out of the box visuals? How are you doing this?
So a lot of the things that you'll see.
Uh-oh.
I think your mic just muted.
Of course it did. Why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to say that, first of all, thanks very much. That's really nice to hear. But when it comes down to my toolbox, I like to keep it with native visuals and then with SVGs. Because I think that, if you're using like custom techniques, Deneb is a really great place to be. SVGs is also a good place to be because you can use SVGs right inside core visuals. So that's kind of why I started using that more than anything else. But it's also like, I don't have anything against using third-party visuals or anything like that. It's just this is what I kind of gravitated towards. And the main reason that I got, to like do the visuals in this way anyway is because I've been a Power BI consultant for, it's like quite some time. And a lot of times I worked for, it's like smaller companies who basically just didn't want to pay a license for a third party, it's like visual or something like that. So, in a lot of cases, it didn't make sense for them. So using SVGs was just a quick way around that. And I think that if you use SVGs instead of tables, that's one of the best ways to get like a lot of the formatting done really nicely. So, that's it. But also, I'm going to say that I say this a lot. I consider myself more of a social media person. I like making videos. I like the minutia of LinkedIn, and visualizations just work really well in that format.
I think that's fantastic. I mean, I'm honestly blown away by the visuals that you do, especially you've got some card visuals that I think perfectly start to blend together like all sorts of different visual techniques. And if I could find my book on data visualizations somewhere, I would like almost want to go through and point out. In fact, maybe that's an idea for a video. Like you guys, you do so much so well that it's quite impressive.
I got to read this book. They just sent it to me for free. I kind of forgot I signed up a forum.
Dashboards that deliver.
Dashboards that deliver.
Who wrote that?
This is names that I cannot pronounce.
Okay.
So yeah, well, you can't see the white, so
it is by Wiley, Steve Wexler,
so
Jeffrey Schaefer, Andy Cotgreave, Amanda McCulloch.
Insler. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. It's too early in the morning for me to have to press anything.
There you go.
I think it's too early in the morning.
Giveaway. Yeah. But they had a giveaway on LinkedIn, and I think you just filled out a form, and I did that. I forgot all about it, and then the book shows up in my mailbox one day. I'm like, how did this happen?
Your wife is like,
so
Kevin, this is the 5th time this week.
Oh, no, that's her. She buys a book a week, and so like it shows up, and I'm like, oh, here, you got another. Oh, wait, it's addressed to me. It's not. And I open it, I'm like, oh, it's not one of your books. Look at that. So.
Injae, was there any particular books that inspired you building visuals? Like when any of these, I've got several behind me on building visuals and dashboards, but was there one that made you go, oh, this is cool?
So Belinda, I'm gonna say this, that you just asked a question that I was hoping no one would ask, because I don't read. So
whoa.
I get it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I actually have like it's like 10 different books that I should go through, but realistically, I'm going to say that the big ones that I think is, of course, storytelling with data. I'm going to say the IBCS stuff that it's like they've got going on over there is really cool as well. But I'm also going to say that I'm not 100% on board with the, it's like data visualizations should be as, it's like minimalistic, as clear cut. Because I understand, it's like a lot of people want to say things like the data to ink ratio, or, it's like getting to the point as much as possible should be the point of a lot of visualizations. But I'm much more on the party that's the better something looks for the individual, the more they'll be willing to use it. And this has kind of been my approach for adoption a lot of the time. And I know that, adoption is important, and making it look good is not as important as having good insights. But I'm like, there's no reason you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think data and analytics, to people like us, is natively interesting, and we delve into it and we love it. But we're the 1% of the population that likes it. In fact, statistics would probably bear that we are a fraction of 1% of the population that natively likes data and analytics. If you do not make it visually appealing, intuitive, understandable, and relatable, I think you lose such a high percentage of the population that the question becomes, why are you doing it, other than hey, there's an imperative to make data-driven decisions, and they don't know how to do it otherwise.
Yeah, I think it innately feeds into the human condition, really. I mean, the human condition is all about telling stories and using visuals to enhance the story. Really, the data is the part that we don't think a lot when it comes to storytelling. So I think it's just the more you focus on visuals, getting quick to insights is the point, but that's not instinctively what humans do. Humans are about the story. So tell the story, and if you want them to be quick to insights, just make sure the short story is a short story.
He speaks.
I know, right?
Good morning, Jared.
Morning, Belinda. I missed you. It's been a while.
I miss you too. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I think that's exactly right. Before we go over to your desktop, Injae, I've along the lines of a human condition. One of the big things that we love that we get to do online, because we get to touch so many people all around the world every Friday, but it's also great to meet in person and actually do that connections, give that handshake, give that hug, be supportive for people when they need it. Are you going to be any place anytime soon? Or are you going to FabCon, or uh, uh, where can people find you in person?
Okay, so am I muted? I'm not muted anymore.
No,
No,
you're good
I
now.
can hear you. Yes.
So in the next couple of months, the ones that I'm going to be going to is I'll be going to Prague for the Power Platform Conference in December. I was going to go in person for BI Forum Budapest in November, but apparently the airport in my city closed down for 40 days, which was a wild shock because they're
Oh.
rebuilding, some of the runways and stuff, and it's like a whole big deal. But I wasn't prepared to go on, it's like a train for 10 hours. So I'm going to do that one online. In February, I'll be going to Oslo for Fabric February. In March, I will be in the Netherlands for the Power BI it's like user days. And hopefully you will see me in May for SQL Day, which is going to be in my city in Wrocław in Poland. And I'll probably apply for Barcelona. It's like FabCon, but
Okay.
we'll see. Like, my wife has made a statement that I go to too many conferences, and she's
That's probably very fair. I do 1 or 2 a year, and my wife thinks that's almost too much. So,
Well, and you've said yourself, for you, that's too much, right? You don't.
yeah, I hate flying. It's
Yeah.
if it was a drive, I would do the drive. It's the flying. I just
Oh, flying's so much fun. I got stories galore from that. I had fun last week coming back. So I'll tell you
okay.
about it later on how I thought I was going to get in a confrontation on the plane.
oh no.
Well, that's not good. Don't fly Spirit Air.
Well, it is Halloween. It is the time for horror stories. So
Yes,
That's true. That's true. But we are here for user data functions. So
Yes, yeah. Is anyone else going to be at any conferences soon? Jared, you've got a number coming up, don't you?
just a handful.
Jared
So
comes and
next,
visits me next week.
yeah, I'm going down by Kevin down to Texas. We're heading to TechCon Dallas next week.
Oh,
And
Belinda,
then,
you'll be there?
Huh?
No, I'm going to be in Houston. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be with
I
in
thought
Houston
that's what
with
he was
Belinda
talking
too.
about.
No, he's coming into Dallas, and then after I have dinner with them, going down to Houston. But Jared, continue. Where else? So
So TechCon next week, and then a week off, and then the week after, and I think Christina's going to be there too. Past Summit coming up.
And the SQL Saturday Vancouver.
Oh, you're doing both?
Yeah, take the
Wow.
SQL train up,
The sequel train.
super fun.
Nice.
Sounds like a song. Gotta get Alex Powers on crafting the song for that. The sequel train.
oh, I don't know if I don't think this was under NDA, but he had new music in St. Louis. So
all right.
he was playing it before the session, and he made a comment. It's just like, yeah, this is one of the first new ones. So
Well,
since others heard
excellent.
it, I figure that's public. And I don't have an NDA
missed
with
that.
Alex. You were probably off doing whatever. I only had it because he did it in the room that I was presenting, and I was the first presenter there.
Yeah,
So
well,
I was in the
exciting
speaker room at that
stuff.
point. Okay.
All right. Let's corral back in on user-defined functions. Injae, I'm gonna go to your desktop. You've got some incredible demos. Want to dive into that? Is that all right?
All right, let's
Are
do
we
it.
ready?
All right, guys. First off, I'm gonna be coughing a little bit because, obviously it's Halloween. Obviously, you'd get a little bit sick. But okay, so the whole thing about user-defined functions that I think is really amazing is that it's essentially just a wrapper. You're basically taking, it's like Power BI code, and you're putting it into different sides of functions, and these functions are going to be able to do specific things. I think the whole point is that basically, if you are going to do something like this, the functionality has been there before. Being able to, it's like show, it's like an SVG that changes, it's like this, or like a KPI card that changes based on what you select. You could do something like this already with bookmarks and, it's like different visualizations. But the whole point of an SVG and user-defined functions is that essentially you can have this looks complex, but essentially it's just a bunch of different arguments. And by changing the arguments, you can make something else. So right now what we have here is we've got likes, it's blue. So let's go and show you the first thing that I want to show you, which is if I have ChatGPT, it's like thing here, and of course you will be able to do this with model MCPs and stuff. Hang on, let me see. How can I resize this so that everyone can see the prompt? Oh my God. Give me a sec. Okay, so
it's all right. We like doing this live. That's
of course, right?
That is our trademark.
So I've given this, it's like it's like this ChatGPT, it's like instance, a lot of information about the different stuff that I have. It's like my model, it's like different things inside of the context. And I'm going to ask it to say, give me a measure about, it's like followers using this specific icon with this color, and this color. And I'm going to make it a smooth dumbbell without points, right? So I've got this. And if I just run this prompt, and of course, this is just like a representation of what's hopefully going to be possible using, local model context protocols or something like that. But I can basically get something like this, another piece of code, I'm going to paste it in here. And because it already knows a lot of the stuff that I have, I can change, it's like this SVG, and almost instantaneously, I will have a different KPI card with the data that I intend to show. This, however, is a magic trick, right? The actual thing that's going on in the background is that I have, it's like different arguments here. It's like got likes for the actual text. It's showing followers current year versus followers past year. It's showing the date month number and the date, it's like month initial as the actual x-axis and the y-axis, right? I've got another function for the actual, it's like icon, as well as specific colors that I want inside of the visual. And the value here, select value chart type, is just the selected value of just a bunch of different text items that change the actual, it's like code. If I change this back. Oh no, Control C is no longer working. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever get that, it's like moment where you're, it's like trying to show something and you're like, I can Control Z this, it's going to be fine. But then it stops working. Okay.
Yeah, probably because you saved it already, so it cleared it out.
Yeah, right? Selected value of chart type. Chart type. All right, let's see if this works. Yeah, okay. And then, it's like being able to change that argument very quickly allows you to change all of the SVGs and stuff. But the whole point of this is that SVGs are really, really silly in the sense that it's a long piece of code. Like this KPI card that I'm showing here has, it's like so many different elements. It's got like the title, the actual big number, it's got the icon, it's got the from last year as a piece of text, and then this, it's like piece of text as well. It's got the y-axis, the x-axis, and all of these different values. And it's creating all of those things. And it's just doing way more than it should be. And it's just not great to be able to, it's like have 270 lines of code for people to just try to use. It just doesn't work, it's like very well. So if we can simplify that into user-defined functions, where in the actual user-defined function, all you need to do is just have something like this and then modify it very quickly. This allows you to have a lot more scalability with using SVGs. You can, it's like use large language models to create the actual functions that we want to use. We can do really cool things like, the icon itself can be, it's like something else. Like, hang on, we're using this one. Let's say we want, instead of it to be green and light gray, we want it to be green and purple. And then, it's like you can like just change the colors, it's like very, very quickly. And that gives like incentives to create a design, it's like template that can be reused across all of your reports, right? So, it's like if you have icons, you want to use them like this, it's going to be great. Okay, before I stop my huge monologue, there's also a lot of other things that you can do with it. Like you can create fonts. So this is just a font. It's a user-defined function, which is using the Google Font API and using the HTML content third-party visual. So I haven't figured out a way to just do this with SVGs because the HTML content visual still takes API. It's like calls to Google, but it also means that this piece of text here, I could change the font of that, no problem. I can change the color of that, and I can change that to a different font very quickly. So that gets rid of the limitation of, the 18 or so fonts that you have in Power BI. You can do, it's like things like this. You can do things like inside of a visual calculation, you can throw in it's like specific UDF. Right now, I have this UDF that shows one KPI card, and I can just use a different function. And I have to, of course, change the data format into a text. But then I have another KPI card that's just basically made using one specific, it's like function. So I can have different styles of things and make that very flexible and easy for people to use. And it can like be extremely dynamic. And all of this is, stuff that I would really have cautioned people to use, it's like before user-defined functions, because the code is complex. Power BI developers don't have to know SVGs. I mean, it's not really part of their, it's like working function, but now you don't necessarily have to. It's like there's just so much you can do with, it's like user-defined functions and SVGs and just a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah.
So let me see if I make sure. So before you had a lot of long code producing the SVGs. Now you've encapsulated that SVG code into one or more user-defined functions that you simply call, right? So I mean, the code is still there, but it's in a smaller, maybe tight reusable format. Is that another way of summing that up?
That's absolutely right. So the complexity of the code hasn't changed, but we finally have gotten to a point where we can apply, like I would say decent coding practices so that we have functions that are reusable across, it's like all of our visualizations. If someone wanted to take this, it's like library of functions that creates these KPI cards and make something else out of it, then they would need to only modify the functions, like the sub functions, and that would apply for everything else. And, it's like, it just means that it becomes a little bit, less look like, that very typical thing where you're looking at 500 lines of SQL code, and instead you've got stored procedures. It's like, it's basically that difference.
Right. Yeah, Chris, I thought we lost you for a second because you were on the bottom.
Sorry, apparently there can only be 5 across the bottom, and I get dropped off. So yeah,
you got dropped off. I almost panicked.
So I really like what you said there, Injae, is that user-defined functions are like the equivalent of stored procedures that you can just call and get that. You can code it once, you can call it over and over again, and you don't have to like know and do all the coding. Did I get that right?
That's probably a really good summary of, it's like you just don't have to redo everything from scratch. And of course, there were ways around that already, like using, it's like C# scripting with tabular editor. But, okay, hang on. I don't know why I'm typing an answer to you, Jake. Okay. I'm just,
That's funny.
This is just what I do all the time. Okay, so Jake just asked, it's like, does the font trick work in the service? So the one thing that I will say is the font trick does work in the service with HTML content, but that's the third-party visual, which is not Microsoft certified. So you might not want to use it just because of data,
Leakage.
security issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't hit on it, but please, if you have questions like Jake hit, put Q colon, and we will get your question answered in the stream here. So
Yeah, I think he just did Q full stop. So I was just like, no, I still see it. I see it.
Yeah, it's all good. But that's absolutely fantastic, Injae. I think these are some like really clear-cut examples of how and where you should be using user-defined functions. Now, is your process when you create these to start with ChatGPT, or how did you go about getting the code for these SVGs together so that it looks so fantastic?
Okay. So we're gonna go to my screen again, and I'm gonna. Okay, look, this is a conference session, right? So I'm gonna try to like scroll through a little bit. And sorry for the, it's like the flashing lights. I just have to find the right. Okay, where do we go? Where do we go from here? Okay, so the main thing is that if you're trying to start with SVGs, go to Carrie Kolosko's website, try some of her templates. That's where I started like 4 years ago, and it's like that's really what you should be looking at. And the whole thing with SVGs is that you have to modify like where the actual data is being called inside of your DAX function. And this is an area sparkline, which is going to make either it's like this sparkline or that sparkline, and it's fantastic. But if you're using AI and you're like me, you're a person who does not know how to write SVGs, then ChatGPT is usually where I would say you can start with. This is not it's like restricted to any specific AI model. I've used ChatGPT, I've used Gemini, I've used Claude, I've used Cursor, I've used it's like a whole bunch of different things. I've used DeepSeek in that 1 week where it was okay, and I really say that I just go back to ChatGPT because that's what I'm used to. But Claude is really, really good too. So it's really up to you guys. Don't be like me and spend it's like $100 on all three at the same time. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Okay. So there was a while back where there was a while back where someone on Reddit posted an image, and I'm going to see if I can pull it up. Right, someone posted an image of a website in the Power BI, it's like subreddit, and they basically said, "Hey, can somebody make this report?" And I'm going to see if I can find this item. It'll take me just a sec, guys. And they were just like, "Okay, so this is obviously a website. It shouldn't be made in Power BI, but I went ahead and made it." This was just like the job board. This is my finished product. And the way that it was applied was that, it's like the main part here, the SVG part, is the actual table. The table part, defines like that this is a job board. It's like, what's the title? It's like, is it remote? Is it not? How much does it pay? When was it, posted? Where is it? So some basic pieces of information. And I had this image, and I went into ChatGPT, and I asked it very colloquially, "Hey, can you make this into, it's like an SVG that I can use in Power BI?" You don't have to say, "Make this an SVG into a DAX function into Power BI." It gets it. So just very colloquially, I was saying, it's like these are the different elements I want in the SVG, and this is the first output. This is the first output of something that I made like over a year ago. AI has only gotten better since then, so it's like probably it would work even faster. But AI is terrible at knowing how to write good code. In the beginning, I had a lot of issues because it didn't know to add like this tiny, it's like prefix to the SVG, which will make the SVG into a data format called a data URI, which can be read by Power BI. And also, you can probably see that it's trying to substitute text 7 times instead of just adding things together. So it was like a hot mess when it's like I got started. But if you start to, it's like work on just a base using the multimodal system, using a picture of the output that you want, and you slowly start to, it's like say, hey, look, you've got some issues with, it's like some text being cut. I want this to be a little bit longer. Make this like left, it's like oriented instead of right oriented, etc., etc., and just keep going. I got to a place where I was like, okay, cool. This is what I want, and this is good enough to make a website in Power BI, which you would never do, but just as a proof of concept, it's like this is like totally plausible. And with ChatGPT, it didn't even take that long to do. But of course, one of the things that I it's like I found in this process is that you can embed base64 code or other SVGs inside of an SVG, so you can have like it's like whether you want a little penguin or it's like the actual icon of the it's like the company or something. Very easy to do, and that is basically the first part of me making SVGs that started to look nice. And I was just like, okay, so the technology is there. It's much more accessible than people seem to think. But if you're starting to make charts, that becomes a whole different thing, right? Because there's this chart. This is like the simplest line chart in the world, right? It's got an x-axis, a y-axis, and it doesn't even show the y-axis, and it's got a line. And it took me a lot of just colloquial prompting to try to get it to the right place where it was ordered properly, etc., etc., etc. But even though it took me a while to get here, what I found out was that once you have an SVG, modifying it into something that works for you is really easy. Like when you have like this structure already made out and you say, I want to, make some changes. This is the code I'm using below. Please make it more similar to this visual, add a gray line using the past year, it's like measure. It starts becoming really easy to modify, it's like SVGs inside of Power BI. It's like I made this from the previous, it's like code in literally one or two prompts, from here to here in one or two prompts, from here to here and here, etc. So it becomes a lot more simpler in terms of, it's like getting to, it's like various things. And you can kind of see these are the micro charts that are going to start becoming even more important because, hang on, inside of Microsoft, the Microsoft blog that dropped 2 days ago, you can actually see that the general availability for new cards is coming, and they've added an additional place to put images, and they can be image URLs, which means that you can now have an icon and an SVG.
Wow.
So it's like you can have a new card that has all of the stuff that you want, plus the actual it's like SVG in it, and that's gonna go live soon. So yeah, it's a good time to be in SVGs, folks.
Wow, that is incredible. And like you said, you were just using an AI to help you generate it. You're giving additional prompts and the things you liked about it or didn't like about it, and it generated all of the content for you. Is that?
That's pretty fair to say.
Yeah. Wow. I thought you knew all about SVGs and you're going to teach us like the properties of SVGs. And we're going to like go into like how you format or, but you just used AI for all of that. That's awesome.
Look, you know what? My imposter syndrome is really high because, there's people like Carrie who write blogs about, this is the rect function that does this. You've got, it's like different, it's like properties. And I'm just here like, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. That's not a bad answer to just say, go read that. So.
Yeah. Because I all I can say is, wow. The reality is it's very humbling to be able to make this, it's like with text, and it's a lot easier to make this now. But the whole process of prompting is something that you can like just talk to the AI in as simple terms as possible, because I didn't want to try to create a framework where, it's like you provide like 9,000 pieces of context and blah, blah, blah. It's like in order to get, it's like the right thing from the first prompt, because that's not how AI works in general. You want to very, very simply start with the most basic version of whatever you're trying to make, and then incrementally move to the end result. And it's like that was I think the biggest issue. And one thing that I forgot. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to respond to the chat. Donald, I have read Kimball. That's the one that I've read. Okay, and then it's like Jake's making a really funny comment about SVGs are degenerates, which is like it's like just a way of it's like calling the different aspects of the SVG, like the different shapes that you would call like rect, circle, line, and that's just like the terminology. But also, I feel like degenerate in SVGs a lot too. Okay, sorry, but I was just gonna say that when it comes down to actually, it's like making all of this, the one thing that I'm not showing here is that the context that I'm providing for the actual data could be an Excel file that I give to ChatGPT, sure. But I can also say, hey, ChatGPT, I want to make this. Make the simplest data model that you can in order for me to do this. And, it's like then, it's like you whip out an Excel file, you plug it into Power BI, and then you start the arduous process of copying and pasting stuff. And you will still continue to do that until the Power BI, it's like model context protocol properly, it's like is released. I know some people have already released some versions of it. There's a guy called Maxim on it's like LinkedIn who has already released a working version of one which is able to modify your semantic model on the desktop.
Ooh.
And I know that I know that Fabric has a command line interface, and you can use that too. And hopefully you won't have to copy and paste different things back and forth. But I made this before that technology, so I was just copying things back and forth. And I got to tell you, that was the most annoying part of getting this to like a working point. Just standing there, waiting for the code to load, being like, oh Lord, why do you test me with this?
It's like waiting for a data flow to finish running so you can see if your table worked. It's like,
yeah.
why?
The original experience for that is when you it's like are importing data, and because it's like your company doesn't want to pay for the it's like direct connection, and you're just like, okay, so the load is taking 3 hours. Why is it taking 3 hours? I don't know.
That's actually why I started blogging. It's just like, well, I might as well do something.
Yeah. It's running. It's gonna take a while. Let's see what happens here. This is just fantastic. And Injae, I've shared 2 of your videos, one on ChatGPT, as well as 38 rows of DAX become one line user-defined functions. These, you made these videos, so I'm sure you know them. But if you have not watched Injae's videos on the subject, please don't do it right now. Like, stay here.
Wait, why did our audience numbers just go down?
They did. 5 people left the second I posted them. 5 people went,
I'm over here.
Yeah. You'd think I would, after 100 of these, you'd think I'd learn, right? Like, don't share other YouTube links until the last bit, but that's all right.
Yeah, we're all learning.
Yeah. Well, okay, so incredible stuff. If someone was new to this and wanting to get started in this, Injae, what would be the one thing you'd want them to be aware of that as they enter into this, they should know starting off?
Okay, so if you, it's like, look, I have shown a lot of different things here. And if you're trying to create user-defined functions, the main thing to realize is that your user-defined function is only going to be as good as your DAX. And what I mean by that is, hang on, let's go to this one. Okay, I'm going to share something on my screen. And this is something that was kind of like an Easter egg in my video where I show people how you can make 38 lines of code into, it's like one user-defined function. The idea was that we had this reference label, which is something that I use quite often. You've got like a, it's like a big number, and you've got the delta versus the last year and the percentage increase or decrease versus the last year. It's also color coded. But this reference label is something that I use very often. And it looks like this. It's 38, it's like lines of code. What you can do with it is that you can make it into a user-defined function, which will only be one line of code, right? And everything's like kind of wrapped inside of the user-defined function. And that's great. But the thing that you have to be most aware of is that this is not good code. What I mean by that is if your DAX function is bad and you put bad DAX in your user-defined functions, then you're going to have bad DAX in your user-defined, it's like a function code. What I mean by that here is very simple. Inside of the actual function itself, I have like, so I've got this one, it's like function.
Can you make that a little bigger?
Sorry, this is just like the one function itself, and it's like this is just a reference function. It's the one that I just showed, it's like previously. But if I wanted to, it's like modify that. Sorry, that's not the right one. If I wanted to modify that and I just threw that into, it's like ChatGPT, what it's going to do is it's going to try to follow C++ coding standards or C# or something. It doesn't understand that you should only put into sub-functions the articles and, it's like logic that can be reused in other places. So what the code is doing in my original item is it's got to find the display units. How many units are there in this value, like the delta? Because that way you can modify it into like a thousands, a millions, or a billions. And it's doing that in an incredibly roundabout way. It's taking the number of digits from the, it's like delta by converting the actual, it's like current value. No, this should be growth, but it's supposed to convert the growth into an integer, removing decimal places, convert that into a string, find the number of characters inside of a string. And if that's an error, give it a 0. You don't need to do it like this. I'm going to show you a much better way. And then from there, if the number of digits is above 13, 10, 7, or 4, you make it into, it's like trillions, billions, millions, or thousands, and a whole bunch of different things that you just shouldn't be doing. The actual way to, it's like do this, if you wanted to show it properly, is this function where you have the actual absolute value, and then you just use the format string to, it's like to make that display unit count properly. This is the most basic way to create display units. But if your code is like not, it is like what's the word, has an anti-pattern like this, it's just doing additional things, then however much time this is going to take is going to, it's like flow into your user-defined functions. So the place to start isn't to start using user-defined functions. The place to start is to start writing good code.
Yeah, bad code just encapsulated in reusability just makes bad code get reused more. So definitely. Yeah, I like what you're showing here, because format strings work a whole lot better than doing a whole lot more mathing. So
yes,
and it looks easier to maintain too. So
yeah, like I just think that what's the term? If the math ain't mathin',
oh man, this is.
I'm backing up in the chat. There was a question from Mark. I'm not sure we got to. Does your online paid sessions include stored beginner sessions that ramp up on getting started with SVG and UDF?
Yeah, so I, what I showed you in that PowerPoint, I'm gonna, it's like just point out that the whole process of, it's like how I made the, it's like SVGs, how you would do it differently if you wanted to, it's like make them yourself, how to make C# scripts, how to make UDFs, all of that is in my, it's like online classroom. It's also like, I'm trying to figure out a way to maybe create like a light version of my KPI card library so that I can, it's like also post it to, it's like daxlibrary.org, because I'm like, I don't necessarily want to post the whole library right away. But I'm also like, maybe I'll get drunk one day and just go for it.
brings us all back to the conversation during warm up. You mentioned
so make sure you like and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Donate when he on his stuff, and maybe Injae, we can get enough donations in to get him drunk enough to post that. So,
but you mentioned real quick daxlibrary.org, right? And all of that. Can you explain for the people that aren't familiar with that, right? Because the whole UDF stuff really just kind of came out, and at the same time, this way to share functions, like you were saying, right, came about. I don't know if you want to introduce it a little bit more, or
for
that
sure.
was enough.
Chris, can we share my screen again?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so for everyone watching, if you haven't figured out about daxlibrary.org, definitely check it out. I think SQL BI is running it, and it's really nice because what you can do is you can go through the packages, and inside of the packages there is going to be a whole bunch of different things, right? People are able to post their things, it's like as you like, and it's not just about SVGs.
I did not know about this.
Okay, so Belinda, it's like Happy Halloween. This is a really nice thing that I suggest everyone to check out. For sure. And some of the ones that I really
take
think
a look at all
awesome.
of this.
Yeah, it's really great. Like daxlibrary.svg has so.
Shut up and take my money.
So this is all free as well because it's open source. It's like if you click on one of these and you click on add to Power BI, what you can do is you can go and copy, it's like the entire code. And if you copy that entire code, you can go to your Tyndall view and just paste it. And that will have all of the different functions that you want to use.
Shut up.
Don't be worried about the fact that some of these look like errors. The reality is that user-defined functions are very new. Even my functions are, it's like have a lot of red in them. That doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that,
the parser doesn't know how to parse them yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're still just kind of catching up on it,
which is totally fine.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, right? I mean, this is open source. You could go out to they have a GitHub repository, and they have instructions. So if you wanted to contribute to this, you could submit a pull request, and thank you putting that up there. So, so it's led by SQL BI and team, and then I think it was Jake mentioned because I just downloaded this last night. It's integrated with Tabular Editor 3 now. And I just installed it, or I just downloaded it on the machine that I'm doing this live stream on. I was going to do the install and thought better, said I better not install 3 minutes before the stream. So,
yeah, Jake is evaluation context. He has a lot of really good stuff as well. Definitely worth checking out his library as well. And it's also like I'm talking about SVGs. I'm talking about user-defined functions from a visual aspect, but there's a whole bunch of other things like everyday KPI calcs by Bernat, or it's like there is a summary statistics from Carrie. There's a whole bunch of different ways to use DAX, like different templates of DAX that I think is really great as well, simply because it allows you to it's like do a lot of things. Biggest problem, of course, is that it's a lot. How do you know what package to use? It's like when you go inside of a package, what's there, etc. There's a lot of people who provide it's like information about what it is, what the usage is and stuff. And, in a lot of cases, that's all you can provide. If it's not an image kind of thing, then, it's like a logical description of, it's like what's going on is a lot. But you have to read through all of it, and it's like there are it's like a library to read to find what could be useful to you. And I feel like that's one of the things that it's like we will figure out it's like in time which are the libraries it's like that everybody should have, and which ones are more for like edge cases.
Yeah, because you don't really want to have to read it. So
yeah,
I like
all right. So for everyone here, can we raise our hands if we think Jake should come on Fabric Fridays and go through his library here? Huh? Yes? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah? Not
Mhm.
Belinda's no. Oh wait, Belinda's yes. Okay. So Jake, you're gonna have to like figure out some Friday you can join us here and run us through your libraries. It'd be fantastic to see it. And if Jake, you're feeling to yourself, hey, I'd love to do this, but frankly, I just don't have the energy and I'm tired. Well, that's where NeuroGum comes into play with the natural caffeine, L-theanine, and B vitamins. You can get the energy to join Fabric Fridays and have a great time educating people about the power of fabric. Use Kratos BI at checkout for 0% savings. As always, they remain not an affiliate of the channel, and this is not a paid promotion. This is just I like caffeine and gums.
This is a bit.
It is a bit. It's getting to be a good one. So I like the 0% savings.
Yeah.
Don't get that confused with 0 payments.
Yes, yeah. There's 0. You will pay full price. Use Kratos BI at checkout for full price on the gums. So,
Good gravy.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Donald, for tagging neurogum.com. All right. Well, we are nearly out of time. Injae, do you have any parting words for our wonderful audience here?
Okay, so first of all, I should have said this at the very front. UDFs are in preview. Please don't use them in production until they go into GA. We are not responsible for visuals crashing. However, I'm also going to say that I expect UDFs to really push ahead fast, just because of the amount of energy and it's like exposure they're getting on social media and stuff. I think the Microsoft team gets it that UDFs, we really do want them to go live. So it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And the third thing is that I think all of the things that I've shown and all of the things that I've shown people how to create stuff isn't going to be a skill that every Power BI developer needs to learn. I think that's really important. I think that in much the same vein that it's like you only need one person to create like a it's like design kit for Power BI. You only need one person to create the it's like user-defined functions for SVGs or for time series or for formatting or it's like whatever it may be, in order to actually provide value to your organization. And that's really important because it's like this is pretty time consuming to it's like get to a point where it's like you can really use everything. So like just keep that in mind. This is a really shiny new toy that I absolutely love playing with, but that doesn't mean that everyone has to learn this immediately. If you want to choose between learning this and learning what a star schema is, go learn what the star schema is.
You just made Donald happy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great point, Injae. The star schema comes before learning about this stuff, but I think I would piggyback with you and agree with what Jake is saying online. Like there's some things that happen in preview that work really well, add a ton of value. Frankly, are not like, it's not a foundational shift in Power BI in any way. Like to me, this is the type of thing I would have a conversation about before going into like production, but I would put into production and just say, hey, like if it breaks, it's not the end of the world, but I would rather have some of these visuals, some of this interactive, some of this stuff 99% of the time and take that like, oops, we have an outage. Oops, it doesn't work. Oh, look at this different, uglier page instead if there's an issue. Because I think it adds just that much to the experience.
Yep, the risk reward, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
Field
right.
parameters was in preview 3 years.
Yeah.
And
Really?
Jake's putting that as an example. And Donald is saying some things in preview stay in preview, like preview is Vegas or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's very true.
Definitely.
Well, and with that, everyone, we are at the end of time. I want to, thank Injae for taking time out of his day to come and present with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Christina, Belinda, Jared, Kevin.
Can I say happy 100th episode to
You just
you
did.
and your team?
Oh, well,
bravo.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We're excited to be here. And we'd only be here because you guys come every week and show up and make this the best day ever. Thank you all so very much. You have the best day ever. Peace. Baker Tilly Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.